Hey everybody, welcome back to IP Farms. Well, it's a little chilly here for North Carolina. Supposed to start snowing, so we might get a little bit of snow on video today. I hate to start them all off saying it's been a minute, but it has. I'm not doing very good with content right now. Just pulled in 10 different directions. We've talked about that already, so I'm not gonna do a whole bunch of repeat, but I wanted to bring you guys along for, I guess, the beginning changes here at the farm. Of course, you know all about my other channel. If for some reason you're new here and you don't, I'll drop a link in the description. We've got a second channel where the wife and I are making this place our home, and boy, what a challenge that's been already. But anyway, the changes are coming, and today is the beginning of it. So let me turn you around here and kind of go through it as we get started this morning, and talk about it, I guess, and just let you guys in, because it's not necessarily how I wanted to start out 2025 on the farm side of things, but you know, sometimes you got to take a couple steps forward and 3 or 4 steps back. I don't have a problem taking these steps back. It's just progress, we'll call it. So let's get started. Well, I'm going to give him props. He has done very well, because I made a major mistake. The other day I came down here and looked at the damage that was done by the straight line winds we had. Probably seen a short by now of the tree line down here. I don't know if a tornado came through, or it's just weird, because it started, fingering the screen, over there on the hillside, knocked the top out of that one, and just basically ravaged this line here, twisted up some huge trees, broke off some limbs. I don't know, very, very weird. So I came down here the other day to evaluate the damage. Today's Wednesday. I think I was here Monday and walked through, and look, left the gate open. Oh my. I guess Jack knows his place, thank goodness. But anyway, there's some of the damage. I don't know, you see that's a living tree right there, right in front of the screen there. That's, I don't know, it's one of those old weedy trees. It's very, very tough, and it just broke it right off. So I don't know, it's just really weird. I mean, some of these tops and trees that fell out shouldn't have. But anyway, I'm tremendously out of shape, so if you hear me heavy breathing, that's what it is, walking my big tail back up the hill. 1086 has been the major horsepower here at the farm since I started to reclaim in 2020. I traded off some show tractors for it. I put a link up here in the top corner. You can click on that video if you're interested, when I explained a little bit about that. So I had the 1086 and Oliver 770 with a loader on it. Got videos on that. And then later we bought the track loader, and that's what we did all of the reclaim with, really. Some of the equipment out here, as I bought it, you know, I bought it for the 1086, and you know, the offset, pretty good size offset for what it is. 14-foot gyro bush hog, and then we've got the 13.5-foot finish disc. Got the 5-bottom John Deere 2500 and then 12 shank chisel plow. So with that being said, the only thing that I can put behind a different tractor that I have for tillage is the finish disc, and we did that with the 180 this year. So let me explain a little bit about that and why the changes are coming. So I didn't divulge you guys throughout the years that I've had the 180, or year rather, that third gear's out of it. It will stay in 80% of the time, but when it jumps out, it sounds to me like the whole transmission is coming apart, and I don't chance it. The guy that I got it from said he just put his foot on it, which he made hay with it, but just not me. It's not supposed to be a tremendously hard project to do. I don't have the shop space nor necessarily the knowledge. So in second, on the high side, it's way too slow pulling my disc, and then of course it won't touch it in fourth on the low side. It's way too high, so we need third gear. I think it's got an injector that leaks by a little bit. It skips some when it's cold, smokes a little bit more than I like. It's just almost middle of the road tractor that I don't need because I don't really have the equipment to go with it. And if I had third gear, of course I would buy some different tillage equipment and we would have the two, but that's just not the case. So I decided to get rid of it, and my hopes are to replace it with a bigger horsepower tractor to give the 1086 a little bit of a break. Because if something, you know, happens right now, even with the 180, I have no other tractor that'll pull my tillage stuff. So that's where we are with it. The guy's actually coming today, so I'm gonna get it cranked up here and get it pulled up here in front of the shop. We've got to take my planter monitor off, and we'll talk a little bit more about what 2025 is bringing. Well, I feel like all we're doing is this one is talking, but you know how I am with my long-winded attributes. But wanted to give you a little bit of rundown on the gentleman that bought it and why I think it was meant to be. Been on Marketplace for quite a while. You know, I swung for the fences on the price. We finally lowered it a little bit, and I said, if it doesn't bring that for me to still make money, then, you know, we'll just keep it, fix it ourselves. Gentleman called me up, super nice. He had recently lost his 4 Alices to a shot fire. Had a 170 diesel, D19 diesel, a B, and I can't remember the 4th one. I want to say it's another letter series Alice. All of them were restored. Well, the D19 was restored, and I think the B. Just heartbreaking. I mean, honestly, I know another buddy that recently lost his tools and everything to a fire as well. But anyway, I said, well, here's the deal. You know, the price that it is what I'm going to take for it, not a penny less. You know, if it doesn't bring that, I'll keep it. So he came and looked at it, told him what the issues were. He's not really, you know, worried about that. He's Alice man. He's been around him all his life. He's a mechanic. He said he'd take it. So that's where we are. I think it was meant to be because I've had it for sale for a long time, like I said. And, you know, I definitely need something bigger for what I have. I could change and buy tillage equipment for this, but then I've got a situation with third gear being out, and that's the one that I really need more than anything. So we're already looking at some other stuff. I found a couple of internationals comparable to the 1086 size wise, and I found another one that's a little bit more horsepower. Not that I need that by any means, but it is what it is. I've already bought all the equipment, pennies on the dollar there, so I'm not going to turn around. I can buy the bigger horsepower tractors around my area in that 110 to 150 horsepower range, other than John Deere, are pretty modestly cheap. The 3000 series and 165s and 135s is what really brings the money around here, because there's not that many huge farms, I mean, that are still working older equipment like I am. Anyway, enough babbling. Let's get the monitor off here. I'll see if he'll let me get a little clip or two of it leaving, and then we'll move on to the rest of the day, I guess. Stay tuned. When I put this monitor on here, I wasn't expecting to pull it back off quite this soon, but I don't think we're going to be planting corn this year. I think we talked about that in the live. I just don't have the time this year, and I'm not going to let another corn crop go downhill like we did last year. So I think we're going to stick exclusively with small grains this year. Another tie under there. Bear with me. Anyway, small grains. I didn't plant any winter wheat. We got the orchard grass growing. I need to get some nitrogen on that. And I think with everything we got going on with the house, that I'm not going to extend my fields this year. So naturally, that's 9/16. I'll be back. Well, I got the right size socket finally. Where were we? Not extending the fields this year. The issues we ran into with the loader, the radiator put me behind, and then the new situation with the house, we're just going to roll with what we've got. As far as open fields, I think I'm gonna run the offset through, chop up the rest of the residue, and drill my oats in there. And I'm not sure, I may end up green baling some of it, if that makes sense. I don't know. I've got a lot of people that are interested in oats, and then of course the straw aspect. So that'll keep me pretty, I won't say busy, but enough to allow me to farm this year and make some profit, but not let a good crop go downhill. So we'll just have to hit the ground running again next year, see what happens with more clearing this winter. Because I can still make some hay off of the ground that I usually do from my normal customers that just want goat hay if I don't extend the fields this year, so that'll help out too. But anyway, let me finish cleaning the toolbox out and go from there. Well, I think we'll leave you here today with the shop. Got most of it cleaned up. I'm actually working on my workbench over there. Haven't seen the wood on that in probably a year now. But anyway, now that the 180's gone, you saw it leaving, we're gonna get one of these down there in the carport. I don't think I can get both of them in there, maybe, but if not, we'll put one of them in the barn for right now. We might have another route with a Super C anyway, but we'll talk about that later. The i4, I haven't had it running since we brought it home. Tank is soaking still, so I'm gonna put the plastic tank on it. I got the carburetor kit, gonna put the kit in there and see if we can get it going, moving under its own power, because I've got to get my truck in here, got a pinion seal throwing oil out everywhere, so never a shortage of anything to do. Cause and effect here. We did get a little bit of snow. They're calling for some more tonight. I'm actually hoping this is all of it. It's gonna be slippery in the morning, but we'll see what tomorrow brings.